Hello and welcome to the Diana Falzone Show here on Pal Talk. I have a very special guest for all of you ladies out there, and for gents too, because you want to be as fashion forward as our friend Gary is. He already knows that red is the new color of the season. We have fashion designer and just overall extraordinary guy, Bradley Scott. You guys can check out his fashions at the Bradley Scott on Facebook. Make sure you go to that link immediately. Brad, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. So, you know, I look at you, and you're very well put together.
Thank you.
But guys have a bad rap for not being fashion forward, for not knowing what's up. So what drew you into the world of fashion?
Well, I come from a background, my great-grandfather's a tailor, well, was a tailor, and I just watched my grandmother get dressed when I was younger, and my mother, and I just loved it. I loved the seams, I loved the prints, I loved everything about it, and I just wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people out there, I went to the New School University, but for psychology, and all of my roommates were Parsons School of Design, and if any of you guys watch Bravo's Project Runway, which is now his Lifetime's Project Runway, they were obsessed with that show. They filmed it at Parsons, and my roommates were always designing, using mannequins, and always telling me that I looked like a hot mess. They're like, what are you wearing to school? You're wearing a jean on denim uniform. And I'm like, I'm getting my undergrad in psychology. No one cares what I look like.
That's true. Well, the truth is, I come from an idea that there are no rules in what you wear, what fashion you believe in. I think what makes you comfortable inside and out is how you should go about it. The whole idea of not wearing a jean jacket. Yeah, that's a stereotypical rule, but I don't like to apply the rules to people. And it's funny that you should say Project Runway because Tim Gunn was the dean of Parsons.
Wow.
And that's how he got that position there. I never knew that. So it's actually, it all comes together. He was my dean actually when I was at Parsons, and he's now doing really well. He has his own book line, and he's doing a lot of stuff.
He's made it work.
Yeah, he made it work.
So you went to Parsons.
Yes.
Was that how you get the ball rolling for becoming a designer? It's highly competitive.
It is competitive, and Parsons offers the degree, the bachelor's degree, which is, of course, important. But I really think that any student or person that wants to get involved with fashion must get a job in fashion. They have to get an internship. Don't do the whole, I'm not going to work for free bit for an internship. Go and do it. You have to do it. And from there, you'll understand that not everything in Parsons is in real life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, I think that people have to understand that it is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of grit. I remember I did tons of free work in college, even getting out of school. I did my first radio show. My demo show was 6 months for free, and I worked till midnight. I worked the graveyard shift.
That's exactly how I felt and I was doing 40 hours at work and 30 hours at Parsons per week. So it was really like, I don't think I saw my friends for 4 years.
Yeah, you have to pay your dues.
That's right.
If you want anything, you need to work for it. I think the days of like quick reality TV and shows are difficult. Even with the Parsons Project Runway and all of that, I know some of the cast members. Suede has been on here before. And even for him, he's like, no, this is what I studied, this is what I lived, this is what I breathed. So what is your advice for young, passionate fashionistas out there?
Well, pick a market.
And what do you mean by pick a market?
Well, it depends on what you want to design for. A lot of people believe that designing for the Paris Hiltons of the world is the way to go, and that's fine, but know your customer. That's most important. And then find out how much do you want to retail your dresses for, your clothes for. And then do the backwards work. Find out where to get the fabric at the price that you need to be in. If you enter it with your mind all over the place, those fashionistas, well, if you're referring to the fashionistas that wants to actually design a line, that's the way to go. If they want to do the more marketing thing, you can go to Parsons, but I would suggest FIT for that.
Okay.
My
mom went to FIT.
It's more technical. Since I was interested in the design aspect, I went to Parsons. But if you're going to do the business part of it, you must know your customer. If you forget who your customer is, that's the fastest way to go out of business.
Now, what is the most popular but most competitive market for fashion?
Oh, that's tough.
I like to give the hard-hitting questions. I'm the Barbara Walters of Pal Talk.
That's right. That's very tough. You know, the truth is, it's more saturated in the not lower price, but mid price, because that's a much larger market. Not everyone can go and spend $2,000 on one dress.
Who would want to?
Well,
I mean, if you have the budget, sure, but
yeah, that's why I try to keep I don't have dresses at that price point.
That's crazy.
But I think that people that spend the $2,000, it is definitely a small. It has to be a smaller market.
Even wedding dresses, I have some issues with that. My dress was under $1,000, so
I mean, I know the people that spend $5,000-6,000, and I just
right.
It's their money. It's
right, but that would be more of an upper echelon.
That's right.
Kind of
haute
couture.
That's right.
Society.
The Vera Wangs and the whole Armani ones.
Right.
But you're like the middle point to approach the people that are going to, let's say, buy a $248 dress. There are literally tens of thousands of dresses in the stores at that price point.
Wow.
So what makes yours stand out? And if you're just starting, it's tough because the existing brands have factories that could put embellishment and beading and woodworking and cutting and all that. So how do you make your dress stand out more? It's tougher. When you enter a more expensive category, there is less competition, and it's really about a vision and a look that you're selling, not so much just the dress. It's like the whole package. I am the Jason Wu girl. I am the Gucci girl. I'm the Prada girl. It's an image, even if it's just a belt or a bag. You're suddenly in that lifestyle, or the fragrance. It's not necessarily only about the clothing, whereas the $248 dress, it has to be about the dress and it has to be worth it.
See, that's interesting because I think when men can maybe relate to this who are not fashionistas with luxury cars.
That's exactly right.
It's like a Ferrari.
That's
it's not
exactly
just
right.
the car. Sure, it can really...
Well, I'm guilty of that. I have the Mercedes, and so it's about the lifestyle.
It's about the lifestyle and what it represents, and
That's
I guess
right.
it's the same thing with clothes.
That's right.
But when you talk about the economy and designing for that higher brand, if you're just starting out and you're going to design a $2,000 dress, can't you lose money in that process?
100%, and it usually takes 5 years to break even.
Wow. So you need investors.
Or very generous and understanding parents. It's one or the other. You have to approach it understanding that you're not going to be a success overnight. It takes a lot of time. My vision is bringing the $2,000 dress to a price point of under $1,000. So far it's been working for me because I believe that the women look at the dresses and and even the husbands see the dress and they know that the wife has spent thousands of dollars in the past, but they're looking at this and they're saying, wow, the quality's there, the fabric is there, but the price is to die for. So that's how I've been growing. And hopefully it continues.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Well, I also want everyone to know out there that part of Pal Talk is being interactive. So some of our newer users, you can interact with us, Bradley, Scott, and myself, by raising your Pal Talk hands if you have a mic, and then you can talk directly to us. If you don't, that's fine, because you can text in your calls and your messages. Our first caller is Gilbert from Ohio. Hi, Gilbert. Gilbert's with us, I believe. Just a little bit of a wait. We'll get there. All right, in the meantime, Gilbert, you can jump in at any time. I do want to discuss with you when you talk about designing a dress. And so many women feel pressure to be this waifish, model type.
That's crazy.
And being like a size 2. And I recently heard a friend of mine, and she's beautiful, say to me, I'm only a size 2, my goal is to be a size 0. Now, if anyone knows what a size 0 looks like, that's prepubescent looking. There is no body, there is no boobs, there is no butt, and for most guys, they'd be like, hell to the no, that's not cute.
That's right.
So when you're designing a dress for, let's say, the mainstream woman, what is your size for fashion?
Well,
and be honest, because I think people want to understand the mentality.
Sure. All right, well, there's two aspects. You have a fit model, and you have a runway model. When you're styling your clothing, the wrong thing to do is to look at the Cindy Crawfords and take them into your factory or wherever you produce and make your clothes fit them. If women want to be a size 0, that should be a personal choice. It shouldn't be because someone is telling them they need to, and they shouldn't feel like they have to in order to look good. I'll tell you, my best-selling size is a size 8. Most women in America are size 8s, and the key is to understand that and make the size 8s feel as if they are the most beautiful woman on the planet. It doesn't mean they have to feel thinner. It means when they look in the mirror, everything works, from the armhole not being too tight to the waist that's forgiving and the hips that are forgiving, and they walk out feeling like $1 million. If they're a size 8, a size 2, a size 4, that same feeling should be the same.
Right.
And I don't dictate to women how they should feel. I also don't play that psychological game with my sizing, where if you're larger, you'll feel smaller. If you're small, it's not, you have to be yourself.
So what size is a fit model usually?
My fit model is between a 4 and a 6.
Okay.
And then you grade up the sizes and grade down the sizes based on stores' orders.
Okay. And then with that, how do you go for height too? Like how do you? I'm just very intrigued by that.
My fit model is 5'8".
Okay.
If the stores that cater to a customer that's, let's say, for instance, more modest, and so if their customers are going to tend to be a 5'10", 5'11", maybe it's going to be too short of a dress. So because I'm a young designer, I can accommodate their requests. They'll actually ask me to bring in fabric.
Okay.
And they will have their own sample makers, the seamstress, add on to the length.
Wow.
If I was a big brand, it would be tough to do that because you can't really accommodate certain things.
Right.
So
we have a text question, and I'm a little confused. He said, Joseph says he's a bad boy and wants to promote the image of danger with women. Any suggestions? Well, can I just say that the bad boy has a bad rap sometimes. I think more women are looking for the good guy with an edge. But if you really want to go for danger, just, have fire. Fire-breathing dragons with you, leather. No, I'm only kidding. What kind of look can a guy go for? I know, interesting question, right? You never know what you're going to get.
Well, let's see. The bad guy look would probably be an ultra-casual guy that doesn't care how he looks, or he doesn't want people to think he cares how he looks. So that whole roll out of bed, get dressed, put on yesterday's jeans and yesterday's t-shirt look, even though it isn't yesterday's jeans and t-shirt. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to go. I mean, you cater to women's fashion.
Yes.
So what we're looking at right now, you have your spring line that's already in stores. Where can people purchase your clothes first?
They can go to Lord & Taylor. There's Estes in Brooklyn. There's Rizik's in Washington, D.C. There's, in Texas, there are 3 stores, Julian Gold, Elizabeth Anthony. I'm growing, so I'm trying to get into Saks and Neiman's, and we'll see what happens.
Well, it's pretty cool to be in Lord & Taylor.
Absolutely.
That's a huge
Absolutely. And they increased their buy for fall. So
wow.
They must be doing well.
So what trends are we seeing right now for spring?
You're seeing a palette of vibrant but easy to wear colors. Soft yellows, soft greens. There will always be black. The black has to be special, so there's maybe black lace with ivory. So it has to be special if it's black, because I think people are tired of feeling down in this economy. They want to feel happy, and if they don't want to wear the yellow and the green, and they want to stick to that New York black, everyone in New York wears black, it has to be something better and something different.
I think with black, that color is just safe, and it's slimming.
It is very safe and slimming.
And I think in a mass full of people, sometimes you just want to go outside and go to work, and you don't want anyone looking at you.
That's right.
You just want to be invisible in the crowd, and I think it's kind of like that safety net color.
That's right.
For fall, you're designing for fall, you're selling fall. What does that look? Because fashion's always like 1 or 2 seasons ahead.
Well, if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see...
The Bradley Scott.
Yes, facebook.com/The Bradley Scott. You'll see a lot of copper pattern.
Ooh.
It has to look expensive, and that's what women want. And it's really, tiered sleeves I have, but not Victorian, very modern. There's fabrics that look like actual flowers that are printed, and it's really very, very ornate. I went very ornate this season, but still kept my prices where they are.
Would you say it's more like of a Gatsby kind of feel?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I have my second dress for my wedding as a Gatsby.
Wonderful.
I'm very excited.
I love that era.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
but doing it modern.
Beautiful. Yes, you always have to kind of put that like extra edge on things. In terms of fashion shows and coordinating, and how does that work when you sell your clothes? Like, how does a buyer come in and look at the clothes? Is there models there? What do you do? I
have a showroom that reps me and sells my line to stores. It's by appointment only. We have, on occasion, we'll have models come in and wear it, but a lot of times we have mannequins that will dress all the mannequins in my clothing, and then the buyers can come in and then order their size range and whatever they want to buy. And that's it. Fashion shows are very, very expensive. They could be $40,000 for a show.
That's tuition for college.
That's tuition or it's production for a season.
Yeah, right.
So
oh my God.
It's really very, very expensive. A lot of people that do fashion shows are actually sponsored by UPS, and there's a long waiting list to get that.
And UPS is?
The brown...
Really?
United
Parcel Service?
That's right. They'll actually sponsor a show.
Really?
It's really, and so a
Why?
lot of people.
That is so random.
I think because
they ship the clothes.
Well, they're big businesses shipping,
Yeah,
so they'll promote a designer and they'll ask that the designer stay loyal to them and not use their competition, FedEx, DHL, whatever.
That is so interesting.
It is. It's like it's a way of. It's also the image of a corporation helping a young designer. It's very mothering and taking some. It looks nice. It looks better.
Right.
So they're doing that, and then a lot of people are doing presentations. So they'll have 20 models standing in a presentation room, and then invite everyone, and those models will stay there for, let's say, 3 hours.
They just stand there.
They stand there and they take, breaks and stuff. I don't particularly like to do that because I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
So I do it in my showroom. It seems to be working out fine.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. And then explain the lookbook. How do you go casting people? How do you find the right dresses to feature? Do you feature all the dresses in your line?
I feature all the dresses in the lookbook because that's really the sales tool. Models, when we do it, I work with my photographer and we get all the model agencies to send over all their portfolios. So sometimes it's 500 girls that you're looking at, and you have to narrow it down. Go figure, that's the part I don't like, because I don't like
choosing.
I can't choose. How do you 500 girls to pick one? It's tedious. It's something that I don't want to do. So I try to delegate that onto the photographer, who then delegates it back to me, and then we come to a conclusion. And then you have to find out what shoe size, because you have to then get all the accessories, get all the bags, the shoes, the stockings, the whole thing. It's a lot harder. I mean, what people see is the finished product.
Yeah.
And they probably think, oh, it's just taking a picture. And it's not that. You have the hair and makeup team, you have to have a studio, you have to have a background, you sometimes have to... I build all my backgrounds in the photo shoots. So anyone that's on my Facebook page now that's looking at the photo shoots, it looks like it's on set at some swanky hotel, but it's not. It's actually built up. I bought the wallpaper, we build it in the studio.
That is insane.
It's a lot of work.
Wow, yeah, no, it's like you said, you have to pay your dues, you have to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears in order to have the finished product.
Absolutely.
Now, is there a certain look of the Bradley Scott woman? Like you said, there's the Gucci woman, the Prada woman. What does the Bradley Scott woman look like?
It is always classic with a twist. Mm-hmm. Every design that I put through has to pass that classic Grace Kelly look, modernized with a twist. Nothing. I also have a rule. Nothing that I make can be out in the market already. Otherwise, it's not going to get purchased. Mm-hmm. So I'm very, very careful to examine each one prior to putting it through production.
Now, a lot of designers use celebrities to kind of be their spokespeople and get the clothes out and wear them on different shows or red carpets. Mm-hmm. Have you utilized this tool, and what's the importance of it as well? Celebrities
absolutely have their advantage because it gives a lot of exposure. And it gives it a cool factor. Mm-hmm. Example, of course, is Jason Wu, who dressed Mrs. Obama for the inaugural ball, and now he is a very, very well-known brand. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of Fox News anchors wearing my clothing. They wear it on air and they tweet it out. It's nice exposure, and I can use their images on my Facebook and for advertising purposes. But as far as the major celebrities, I have not had much luck contacting them yet. But if they want to contact me, they're more than welcome.
A lot of Fox News anchors would be like, "We're major."
That's right. It is true. It is true.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's awesome. We're getting so much information today, and I think a lot of people have been asking in. And what's your number one fashion rule? If you could give out one fashion rule as we kind of wrap up today.
The truth is, fashion rule is to dress so that you look good and feel good. Not follow a trend because Vogue says if you don't wear the blue shirt, mm-hmm. you're out of fashion. You have to find your own style and find the clothes that build to your style and stick with it.
That is excellent fashion advice. I hope that you're going to come back for promoting your
pleasure.
Fall line.
My pleasure.
Hopefully in August, so everyone can get like a little bit of an inside scoop on that.
My pleasure.
And for our viewers out there, be sure to check out the Bradley Scott on Facebook, and his website is under renovation. But if you want to pick up a sweet gift for yourself or for a loved one, maybe a girlfriend, always works to buy clothes, you can go to Lord & Taylor's locally as well, and you can find all the other places he carries at the Bradley Scott. Thank you, Bradley.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
See you guys soon.
Bye.